YouTube, go live. However, we're live right now. We're gonna do a quick audio check. Can someone in chat let us know if we sound good? Someone in the chat. Test. Are we good? All right, we're good to go. All right, so first off, thank you to the community for coming out to this wonderful event. The developers have in fact been hard at work behind the scenes, working their tails off. I want to thank you, everyone who staked Atom, everyone who staked Secret, everyone who staked Luna, who is excited about this airdrop. Just want to thank you for your support. We have a very, very large and ambitious vision, and it's only made possible with you, the community, as we essentially build technology that we believe is going to change the world with Silk, right? So we're going to start off today by doing some quick introductions. This is the first time that the community has actually got to meet a good chunk of the developers. I also want to make it clear that this actually isn't even the full team. There are other high-level contributors building out primitives with us that are not included on this call. So thank you to those people that also couldn't be present today for this specific call. So we're going to be asking 3 questions going around. What is your name? What do you do with the Shade Protocol project? And what is your favorite non-secret network coin? We will start off with Dalton Tanner.
Yeah, for sure. Hey guys, my name is Daltz. I'm the brand manager for Shade Protocol, and my favorite non-secret network coin would most likely have to be Juno.
Great. Jack Sisson?
My name's Jack Sisson. I work on the front end, and my favorite non-secret network coin would have to be Osmosis.
Nice. Swenson?
My name's Jack Swenson. I'm doing contract development with Guy Garcia, and my favorite has got to be Osmosis, but I've got high hopes for Ada.
Nice. Mohammed?
Mohammed here. I'm founder of Secure Secrets with Carter, being there from the beginning. Favorite non-secret coin, it's kind of hard to say because secret has been my life, but the closest competitor coming close to it would be Cosmos, I would say. That's probably the only one I can really conjure in my head.
Nice. Guy?
Hey guys, I'm Guy Garcia, a smart contract developer, and I'd say, apart from Secret Network, my favorite chain would be Osmosis.
Nice. Jeremy?
Howdy everyone, I'm Jeremy Schiffer. I help with, biz ops, anything regarding that, numbers, all the stuff in the background. Like Mohammed said, my life is basically in Secret Network, but I love watching Juno and how they're doing things. Big shout out to them.
Nice. Austin?
Hey, I'm Austin, front-end developer. My favorite chain is probably the Cosmos Hub, but also love Chihuahua. Shout out to Lavender 5 node. Got all my Chihuahua staked here.
Kyle?
Hey Al, I am Kyle Wahlberg, and I am working on the back-end contract development as well. For my favorite, I'd probably give it to Osmosis as well.
Ooh. And I'll do a quick introduction. Carter Wetzel here. Help a lot on the economics, project management. And my favorite non-secret network chain, this one's going to be slightly controversial, is Ethereum, because I still think a lot of the innovation starts there. So I know Dalton's shaking his head in the upper left-hand corner. So now I'm going to transition to the next topic, which is about, essentially, as a team of developers, there was a very significant problem that had to be solved. And a lot of developers, they would maybe not walk through the architecture and why things have been pushed off the way they have, but we're going to walk through the architecture, the significance of the problem solved, how that's going to impact UI, UX in a good way, and the innovation that's been done with the multi-chain airdrop that's going to be coming up. So I'm going to now hand it off here to Austin to kind of walk through the problem and the other developers that want to chime in here.
Sounds good. I'll try to share my screen. Let me know if you guys can see this.
Can't currently.
Oh, here we go.
Yep, we can see it.
How about now?
Yep.
All right. So I'm going to walk through the design of the airdrop. We'll get into some of the challenges that we've had along the way. But I've been in Cosmos for a couple of years now, been a part of a lot of airdrops. And it seems like when it comes to cross-chain airdrops, a lot of projects struggle to have a really good user experience. So we really wanted to innovate and come up with some solutions for some problems that I've experienced, and I'm sure some of you have as well. So this is a decentralized cross-chain airdrop. Decentralized meaning that there isn't one single entity that's going to be sending you tokens. We'll have a contract deployed on chain that you can interact with. And maybe a counter example to this, I don't know if anyone's ever been a part of an airdrop where you had to do like a magic transaction, where you send a very small amount of a token to an address. Maybe it's in the memo, and then that approves you for receiving the airdrop. It's just kind of, I don't know, a little bit challenging to know, like, if you did everything right. You don't kind of get the immediate confirmation, like, yes, I got my drop. So that's something we wanted to avoid. There's not going to be any bridges with this airdrop. I've seen cross-chain airdrops where they'll drop a layer 2 token on each chain that's eligible, and then it's kind of your responsibility to bridge it around and accept some of the risks with those bridges. It just requires a lot of transactions and gas just to kind of like get everything merged together. So our airdrop is not going to have any bridges. I've been a part of some where they're asking you to put your seed phrase into either a new wallet or something related to that chain launching. And I just feel like anytime you have to do that, anytime you're typing your seed phrase in anywhere, it just feels very dangerous. So that's definitely something we wanted to avoid. So if you're on Kepler or Terra Station now, you're not going to need to set up any new wallets or transfer any seed phrases. It's going to be ledger compatible. So it seems like oftentimes projects launch and they just have problems with the ledger. And that's something we definitely have worked very hard over the last several weeks, is to make sure that wasn't going to be an issue, because it's just very frustrating for a user when you know the token's out there. A lot of people have received their airdrop, but you have to wait, a couple weeks to be able to participate. So that's something we've been able to solve. You're going to be able to claim your airdrop with a single transaction on chain for multiple wallets, even if the wallets are on different networks, which is pretty mind-boggling, I think. And then you're also going to be able to maintain your privacy with claiming. For those that know about Secret Network and the Shade token, it is a SNP20 token, meaning that it has privacy by default, and only you with your viewing key can be able to view your balances and view your transactions. But in addition to just having a private token, you'll actually be able to claim with complete privacy. And what I mean is, you could spin up a brand new Secret Network wallet and claim all of your tokens to that new wallet, even if that wallet isn't eligible for the airdrop, which is, again, a pretty mind-boggling innovation, I think. And we're going to use permits to do this. What's a permit? For those that are in Secret Network, you might be familiar with this idea, because permits are sometimes used as a substitute for viewing keys when it comes to tokens or NFTs. But a permit is basically a wallet signature that's used to prove that you own a specific address. A permit doesn't require any interaction with the chain. It doesn't cost gas. So you create this signature off the chain and then can use it for certain things on chain. So you can take your permit signature. In this case, what we're doing with our airdrop, where you can send it to a smart contract, and you can use that as a method to prove certain actions that the smart contract is going to take. So you'll be generating permits and sending it to our airdrop contract, which will then authorize the release of tokens to the wallet that submitted those permits. So the airdrop claim process is what it's going to look like. It's a 3-step process. Step 1 is going to be creating permits. You're going to do this on your local chain. So we have Kepler on Secret Network for Atom, Kepler as well for creating permits. And then if you're a Luna user, you can use either Terra Station or Kepler to generate these permits. So you create your permits for each network, each wallet that you own. You can create multiple permits for a single network if you have multiple addresses. These are all free transactions to generate these permit signatures. Step 2 is creating, we call a master account. So you can use any secret wallet that you own, even if it's something brand new, not eligible for the airdrop. And the permit data that you create in step 1, these signatures, you submit them to the master account in the claim or account creation transaction. And then at that point, once the contract has validated that you are, in fact, the owner of those addresses, it will release tokens to your wallet. And then the final step will be creating a viewing key in order to be able to view that balance in your Kepler wallet or in our application. So this is just a screenshot of some testing we were doing here.
Could you click on the hide button just so users can see the 0.1?
Sorry about that.
Yeah, no, it's all good. There it is.
Yep.
Just so people can know. And so just so everyone understands, we're talking about 60 to 70 cents to claim a multi-chain airdrop. No bridges. Completely simplified. I mean, that's absolutely phenomenal.
Yep, and I'm glad you mentioned the cost as well, because that is sort of the step before you even get to this 3-step process. You will need to purchase some secret, because secret is the gas token on Secret Network. So you will have to have some secret in order to go through this claim process to receive your shade. So,
and where would you recommend users to get secret?
I think Osmosis would be the best place, or other centralized exchanges if they support secret and allow you to send it to a wallet. So that would be my recommendation.
Awesome. Now, I'm going to let Guy, if you have anything you want to jump in here on. I know you worked pretty hard on the signature proof component, so I'd love for you to hop in, talk about what that was like solving that, and kind of the innovation that you feel like we've pulled off here. If you have anything you want to add.
I do want to add, I think Steven asked this in the chat, but he's asking about Kepler Cosmos chains and Terra Station derivation paths, if we've taken that into consideration. And the amazing thing about permits is you don't really have to take that into consideration. Once you sign the permit, you're already proving that you have ownership or control over that address. So pretty much every single derivation path, any single different way you can come across creating your account, it'll be accepted, and it'll probably be 100% good in the smart contract.
We'll shift over here now to some brief Q&A. I know everyone wants to know when airdrop, so we're going to take a little 5 minutes here, and Dalton, if you want to just like read off questions, we'll answer any questions that aren't related to when airdrop, and then at the end of the Q&A, we'll maybe outline what the next steps are and the airdrop date, and yeah, we'll go from there.
Hey Carter, before we do that, do you want to talk about any, I don't know, some of the challenges we might have had in development over the last month or so?
Sure. Yeah.
Or do you want to jump right into Q&A? I mean,
no, I think we could. Let's talk about the challenges. And I mean, no one's more familiar with the challenges than you guys. So let's start with Terra in particular. So there is obviously the Terra Station wallet, and there's also Terra ledgers. Walk us through essentially this 2.5 week problem that really held up a lot of this airdrop process. Like, for full context, January 15th, February 1st, that was the target, and this very significant problem had to be overcome. So Austin, Guy, Sisson, anyone who wants to jump in here, let's just offer up some color and some light to the problem.
Well, let me go off of what Guy was just talking about, because it's related to specifically the ledger derivation path. When we originally designed the airdrop contract, we knew that, like, theoretically that this would work for both Terra and Cosmos, because they're both Cosmos chains. They're designed in the same sort of way. So we knew it theoretically should work. The problem we ran into is we designed the airdrop around what Kepler capabilities were, and Kepler is a pretty flexible wallet when it comes to how what you're doing with transactions. And then we moved over to the Terra side of things, and they're a lot more constricted with what they allow, this type of transactions that they allow. So making Terra work just like Kepler worked, as we dug deeper and deeper into it, we realized that just wasn't going to happen. So we really needed to start with the most constrained system in Terra Station, design our airdrop around that, and then make Kepler work in the same way. There's also some differences in what Terra Station allows as far as the ledger signing and what you would sign without the ledger. Terra Station has the ability to sign arbitrary data, which is important for creating the permit. And we tested it out. We had this completely working with non-ledger. And then our final step, after we were basically celebrating victory, was to do the exact same thing with ledger. You get a pop-up. Ledger does not support signing of arbitrary data. We're like, oh, you got to be kidding me. So again, we were doing things with we needed to design the system around the most constrained part of the equation, and that was Terra Station ledger users. So we came up with a final solution where Terra Station ledger users are going to sign in one way, Terra Station non-ledger users are going to sign in a different way, and then Kepler wasn't a problem at all, just because they're a lot more flexible with as far as signing arbitrary data and allowing the ledger to do so. So that's kind of a summary of some of the problems that we've had.
Yeah, and we'll switch away from technicals for a moment here. Jack, I know you had many a late night, extremely late night. So what was it like? What did it feel like to finally solve the problem? And like, what did it feel like to push through that 2.5 weeks of like trying to find a solution? Oh, is Jack frozen? Jack might be frozen.
He's a little bit frozen right now.
No, Jack's frozen. That's all right. I'll pose the same quick to Austin and Guy. I'm sure both of you can speak to it.
I can speak for Jack a little bit, because he and I worked pretty closely on the front end and wallet integration. Jack did amazing. I mean, he did a super deep dive into the Terra code and found, like, at a fundamental level what was happening with the signature process for both the ledger and Terra Station in general. It feels like we have enough knowledge now to literally build our own wallet. Like, that's how deep we had to go. So Jack did an amazing job working on that stuff for sure.
And Guy, well, last question before we shift to Q&A. The whole process of designing the permits, did it surprise you that supposed like IBC compatible chains, like the wallets, are like a very restricting factor? Like, what was the biggest surprise to you along the journey of kind of designing the permit component?
The first surprise was once I got the permits working, it's honestly amazing. Like, the thought of just an offline way of like proving that you own this is, it's a rule breaker at this point. And the fact that secret NFTs are using it, the new secret SNP 20s, Like it's just a new way of replacing viewing keys. It's amazing. And something that really surprised me, it's for all the developers out there to keep in mind, always test, always be redundant with what you test, because if it weren't for Austin testing that one Kepler Terra solution, we would have never realized that if we didn't test that, once we deployed, it would have been an issue for all those Terra Kepler users. Terra Ledger users. So, always be redundant.
Totally. Jack, you dropped there for a minute, so I just wanted to give you a chance. I was saying I know you had many a very late night grind trying to get things solved. So just walk us through the emotional journey of like finally having solved it, and then we'll transition to Q&A.
Yeah, one of the unfortunate parts of trying to figure this out was there were so many times where we had thought that we had accomplished this huge problem. We were just like celebrating, and then the next day we would test it out, and it would be like, nah. There's this one edge case where it didn't work, and so we had to go back to the drawing board. And the tooling for Vue was quite constrictive, so we didn't have a huge interface to work with. So it was a lot of just learning as much as possible about the Terra ecosystem, and then trying to use that large base of knowledge to create such a specific solution to a very specialized problem.
Totally. Thanks for adding some color to that. So Dalton, we'll hand it off to you now. 5 minutes for Q&A, any non-when airdrop questions. I'll then hand it to Mohammed to talk about what's in store for us leading up to the airdrop, post airdrop, all that. He can kind of hand off a mission statement and add a little bit of a picture of what's to come, and then we will officially announce the airdrop date. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have a couple funny ones here, and then a couple serious questions. Starting off, Austin, they're clowning you for using Chrome instead of Brave. Just wanted to throw that out there. Apparently, Guy, you look really, really trustworthy to a lot of people and hot. So there is that. 5 guys with glasses on the same team looks legit to me. So that also seems pretty nice. But actually getting into some legitimate questions here. Somebody asked, I can't remember, what will happen to stranded or unclaimed shade?
Yeah.
So Carter, I don't know if you want to answer these specifically or if we can hand them off to devs. But...
Yeah, I think Mohammed, do you wanna take this one?
Yeah, so any unclaimed shade, basically there's going to be a burn off period. I'll give it to Guy actually, because he's the person who worked on this section. But there's going to be a period of time that we're going to be setting right after airdrop launch, as well as after mainnet launch. You'll have a period of time to claim your airdrop before it goes to a burn account.
Exactly. So let's say you have a certain amount of shade eligible to claim, and you don't claim that by the start of the decay period. That amount will start decaying up until it's 0. Once all of those amounts reach 0, that means the airdrop is over, and that decayed unclaimed amount will go into our DAO's treasury. So pretty much we recycle that shade for it doesn't go to us, it goes to the shade DAO.
Gotcha. And just to be clear to everyone, the airdrop is being split up into 2 components. You have the first part with the initial shade airdrop, and then when Silk and the rest of the features go live on mainnet, there'll be a second claim that can be made, which is also a really cool feature because you're incentivized to come back and actually use the protocol after the initial airdrop. But question for you, Guy, does the decay process begin at the start of the first airdrop? Is it split up between the 2? When does the decay start?
So there are no plans to setting a decay yet. Once we launch the protocol, we'll give it a few months so people can claim, people can interact with the protocol and claim whatever amount of shade they have left, and then the decay will start. And it's not like it's going to be a few weeks of decay. It's also probably going to be a few months. So it'll give the people as much time as they can.
Gotcha. Perfect. All right, Dalton, we'll go with the next question.
Awesome. So again, didn't write down the name, but people are wondering if all of our code will be open sourced.
Yeah, Mohammed, go ahead.
I like to take this question. Yeah. So right now, most of our code is going to be closed source with respect to the airdrop. But once the airdrop is close to live, we will be considering open sourcing portions of the code and eventually open source everything. But we are leaning towards open sourcing as much as we can as a need to basis, basically.
Awesome. Next question. So how do the Shade Warriors relate to Shade? Are they minted by the team? Carter, I think that one's aimed at you.
Sure. So Shade Spartans are really interesting because it wasn't any of the core team that came up with it. It was actually the community. The Shade Spartans, the Shade Warriors, essentially all started coalescing in a Telegram room, and super high-level contributors get promoted into the Shade Spartan chat. And so the community members there had a really cool idea. What if we built like a world of NFTs around the Shade Spartans and around Shade Protocol? So there are a bunch of ideas going around. We're at the earliest ideation stage about like what the NFTs can look like, what they can unlock, what type of world building we can do with it. I will say I think Shade Spartans are a super cool historical shout out just because like the Silk Road geographically had a crossover with the Spartans loosely at some stage, and so I think it's a total coincidence. We didn't come up with it. I really view the Shade Spartans and the Shade Warriors as like that's the community. That's what they do with it, and we're totally here to support it. It's super fun to see.
Yeah, for sure. I also think it's so cool to see community members actually wanting to participate to that extent. So to give them that opportunity, I think is really, really cool. More of a technical question on this one. So Guy, feel free to chime in, but if a bad actor was storing permits on their back end, could they potentially use people's permits to steal someone's airdrop? Or will you be deriving the address from a permit to check that it matches the claimer?
So because of how smart contract interactions work with COSM, WASM, and all that, the arguments that you provide, for example, the airdrop permits and all that, are technically encrypted, so only secret network can know this, only the chain can know this. So if your permits get leaked, it's a bigger issue. It's not something regarding to the validators or any node. It would be more of a secret network issue, which is not going to happen anytime soon.
For sure. And then I saw another question there regarding NFTs and the Shade Spartans. Will NFTs have a place on Shade, or will we have our own specific place for NFTs? We will be using Stash for all our NFT projects. So if you guys haven't heard of Stash, go to stashh.io. And that is Secret Network's NFT platform. And that is what we will be integrating with in regards to any future NFT projects. I saw another question as well. When first girl on team? So like Carter said, there are more core contributors and team members than just us here right now today. And some of those people have wanted to remain anonymous. Some of those people have come out and kind of doxed themselves. But there are multiple people on the team that are not just males. So just to put that out there, they're just, again, not on this call today. But let's move on to another question here. How did you guys come together / meet? Carter, do you want to take that one?
Sure. Yeah. Well, this will be the last question, and then I'll hand things off to Mohammed here, and then we'll get your drop date. So it's a great question. Things started off, pretty much a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. It's gone by really, really quick. I pretty much met Mohammed. Secure Secrets, which is a validator on Secret Network, was spun up. We started ideating about like what we could do with the Secret Network tech stack, and we eventually pulled in Austin to start working on some of like the website stuff with the validator. And me and Austin always laugh because we had a conversation where we're like, all right, like let's start with like the smallest possible project, and then like 6 months later, like we're doing like crazy stablecoin massive project, and then pulled in Jeremy and Dalton. Jeremy pulled in Jack. Kyle was one of those people where I was at a party and I was over here hand waving about stable coins and crypto, and Kyle's like, what the heck is this stuff? And then we actually we set up this Bitcoin Omaha trip to announce Shade Protocol and some of the people on this team like went there, and we had only known each other in the context of this project for like a couple weeks, right? Like it was super early on. Jack Sisson, I gotta hand it to this guy, had been texting me wanting to know more about the project. We kind of kept missing each other, and I went over to his house to pick up a Wi-Fi router that I was still renting out. It's a very confusing story, but I went into his living room, and he was like, "What are you guys building?" I grabbed a napkin or a sheet of paper, and I started drawing it out, and Jack was like, "Wow, this is like really freaking cool." And I'm like, "How about you come to the barbecue we're hosting tomorrow that the team is going to?" And so Jack on a whim's noticed, doesn't really know me, didn't really know what we were doing, like showed up to this random barbecue, and like the rest was history with Jack. Guy Garcia, Mohammed pulled him in, which is guy's like an insane crazy contributor. Yeah, Mohammed, but you don't talk about how you found Guy, but like that's everyone. Yeah. Everyone knows everyone. It's a very connected team.
Just for everybody, guys, the anonymous dude everywhere around. So I found him through the secret network ecosystem pretty much, and he's a core developer. He works pretty hard, guys. Like most of the code you're gonna see with Shade Protocol is probably gonna be somewhere dabbled by Guy in the middle. So be nice to him. But it's just been a crazy journey, like Carter was saying, like meeting everybody. We met many people online, many people in person, so it's kind of just been a journey in ourselves. It's exciting how we have come, Carter. I think like from almost 1.5 years ago, now we have like a core team around us, and like Dalton mentioned, like not everybody's even here. There are so many other people contributing, so many other higher level contributors, so many partners we have out there who have also helped us moving this journey forward. So just exciting, and I'll go get into the long-term vision as well a little bit, Carter, here. So I'm sure like everybody's wondering where is Shade Protocol really going, and what are we really doing. So airdrop, the obvious thing, like everybody's here for that today. The airdrop is coming soon. I leave Carter for the actual date to come, but basically airdrop comes around, then we can have like the stage process of the airdrop claim process. Basically we want to like really deliver to the community, so not everybody's just going to get shade like right off day one, like we have all the shade now, and that's not how it's going to work. Be part of the community, be part of Shade Protocol, and Shade Protocol will reward you. Make sure you're part of all the community channels, make sure you're part of all the other Shade Protocol when Shade Protocol goes live, part of all the token economics and mechanics of Shade Protocol. Participate in there, because you never know, you get more airdrops and rewards on top of the shade you're going to receive. So just a heads up on that front. Outside of that, long-term vision, like Shade Protocol has Carter has talked about this all the time, but like we have long-term goals where we want to like really get Shade and Silk, our stablecoin, out there, get it to like your hands, basically people's hands, so that you can go and buy a coffee if you like in your store, right? Like in your local jurisdiction. That is the level we want to reach, and we are following some of the other major pioneers in the space, and I think that Carter is very open about that vision and goals that we want to achieve. So that's one thing. We really want to bring privacy to the forefront. That's one of our core ethos. Oops. No, I was just saying that privacy is like an important ethos to us as well. And we want to bring that with Shade Protocol. So, anything related to privacy is critical to our team, as well as Shade Protocol as a vision and ethos that we share. So, anything we want to build is on secret network at this stage. We are contributing as much as we can to the secret network vision on that front. So all props to the Secret Labs team as well on that front to like build out secret network and share this aspect of things as well. Also other contributors in the Cosmos ecosystem that have enabled this multi and interchain economy as well. Many high-level people who have helped us on that front. So super excited to be working with many of them, integrating with many of them. In the next few months, you're going to see many announcements with respect to integration, as well as things we're implementing with both Shade Protocol and Silk as well. Not to mention our V2 roadmap with Synthetics, which is like its long-term goal that we have. Like we want to make sure we are dabbling, and there's like a whole new economy we're creating in that front. So long-term vision, excited about all of that stuff, and look forward to all of that stuff as well. But yeah, I'll hand over it back to Carter for the dates and the exciting stuff, the alpha.
Hey, Carter.
Yep.
Can we actually do one more question? Someone actually asked, how was gold/fiats included to the innovative peg? Could we just give them a brief, like 30-second answer really quick? I think that's a really great question.
Sure. So essentially, the white paper is updated white paper is going live if it's not live already. That walks through the logic behind the global peg. And we're actually having a call this Saturday with the core peg research team, which aren't even on this call. Those people that have been doing the crazy deep dive backtesting. And we are closing in on finalizing the exact weights attached to all the different sovereign currencies as well as the commodities. So to answer your question simply, there has been multiple diverging models, and we are going to choose the one that retains purchasing power the best, that we've backtested 20 plus years, right? Specifically, you want to include commodities to account for the inflation of these global currencies. So more of those details will be coming out. You can join the Shade Protocol Discord. You can find that link on the website or on Twitter. Go to the PEG research channel, and you can just scroll up endlessly through all of the PEG research discussions. 100% of those discussions are had out in the open, and it's literally, when we're all said and done, it will have been community members that designed the PEG, not even like the core, this core team on this call, which I think is the coolest thing. There's just some brilliant economists and people that have spent hours and hours and hours in spreadsheets and grabbing from different data sources to make this futuristic Web3 stablecoin that we're here to build. So
Awesome. Thanks, Carter.
all right, so on that front, I'm going to say two things. First off, if you're interested in joining this team or becoming a contributor, please reach out to Jeremy or Dalton or myself. Like, we really do want to foster a community of contributors. I mean, we value everyone and the hard work that's being put in towards this protocol. And the second thing, we're going to announce the airdrop date, and I'm going to tee it off by saying, because in my mind, transparency is key. Okay, that's kind of the dichotomy of privacy. That's a very valuable thing, and then transparency is also a very valuable thing. So this 2.5 week roadblock did push the airdrop date back. Okay, that's total transparency for the community. But at the end of the day, it was to prioritize making sure that no one was excluded from the airdrop. We could have made the decision to just say, you know what, forget about it. We don't care about the people who have ledgers on Terra, right? And we could have shoved things forward. But we wanted to make sure everyone was included. And on that note, for the official drum roll, the official airdrop date is February 21st. Okay. Now, specifically, there's going to be a 2-week period where we have the front-end UI UX testing directly from the community. We added in an extra week for buffer to account for anything. So once again, we could have made the decision. There was some internal discussion. Do we want to say February 14th? We could have said that. But we decided that February 21st was the safest date to pick to make sure everything's locked in, everything's safe, everything's good to go. And that will happen at, I believe, 5 p.m. GMT plus 0. So there it is. On that note, we look forward to launching. You'll have opportunities to liquidity provide with your shade on Secret Network dexes. And after that, it's going to be work to get Silk out into the wild. There's more development that has to be done. There's the final audits, final testing. And on that note, love you guys, love the community. See you on February 21st. Spread the word. It's going to be a good time. Thank you all for your time.